All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next item, presentations by the public to the school committee. We have none this evening. Item 5, public comment. Anyone wishing to speak should say their name and address and step up to the podium. Having none. Item 6, personnel. Appointments, leaves of absence, retirements, resignations.
Motion to approve as presented.
I will second that.
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
Discussion.
Discussion.
Can we, for those people who are being approved by the school committee tonight or any other night, can the resumes be included in the paperwork that we have? All resumes?
I thought they are.
All of them?
Yeah.
All of them. Am I allowed to speak?
Including athletic? We
Yes.
don't have anything from athletics either.
So all I was going to say is not in reference to athletics. You always receive resumes for anybody who's not already an employee.
I have one that's missing. Okay, sorry.
That's okay.
Mhm.
That's okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
if we
Mr.
could recognize, I believe we've got one of our newest
Couple of teachers.
teachers here, maybe recognize his presence and anyone else that might be here that's joining us.
Absolutely.
I'm
Absolutely.
not sure I remember names.
Mr. DePasquale, yeah, sure, if you could stand up, sure. Welcome.
Welcome. Welcome.
Welcome. Next item, old business, fiscal year 17 BSD budget update.
Motion to open.
Do we approve? No,
I think we had a second
we only had a second. We haven't approved the appointments.
appointments.
We had discussion.
And
Discussion, all in
Donna
favor?
second.
Aye.
Thank you. Robin, you have any comments on the fiscal 17 budget?
Motion,
Motion to
did it get seconded?
Second?
Motion to open, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes, so I just wanted to point out at this point, we have approximately $58,000 surplus as we complete the end of the fiscal 2017 school year. We still have some invoices that are expected to come in, and this is also net of the $75,000 that you approved at the previous school committee meeting for the healthcare fund.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Fiscal year 17 rink budget update.
Motion to open.
Second.
Motion open the second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
There's no action that's needed. As you can tell, the rink surplus for his expenses and revenue just for the 2017 school year. The rink ran a deficit, but I did provide you with financial information explaining that as to why that some of the expenses were for capital projects that we had already approved.
Discussion, questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next item, superintendent's report.
Motion to open.
Second.
Motion open the second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to have Mr. Robinson give you an update on the Eccleston Fieldhouse renovations.
Good evening, everyone.
Evening, Bill.
Good evening.
I put together a summary of what has taken place there. As you all know, I had to put together a very aggressive schedule, and I'd like to say that right now we're right on target with that. I can give you just a quick breakdown week to week what's been going on. We commenced work on the week of June 12th. with the demolition of all the block walls on the inside, the plumbing, the electrical, and the HVA system, which went very smoothly that week, so kept things on schedule. During the week of the 19th of June, the new ceiling and the floor above the ceiling was completed. We put a new ceiling above the floor for storage, which will help out a lot with the storage around the school. And the new plumbing was also roughed in that week. The week of June 16th, the construction of the new roof was completed. A new 200 amp electrical service was installed. The ceiling was painted. The outside bathroom doors were removed and blocked in. What we're doing is making we're gonna keep a bathroom with a mechanical room, and the other one we're gonna make a coach's locker room. So we saw cut the walls in there to gain access. And also that week, the outside of the building was painted, which came out really good. We got a little bit of touch-ups to do. The week of 4th of July, which is a busy week, we still were able to get the inside walls painted of the building, so that's also complete. And then the week of July 10th, the electrical was roughed in, and the temporary construction lights were put up so we could continue work on the floor. This week, the new floor was started, which is a 4-step process here. It's a quartz floor, so you have to grind the floor down, level it out, lay down a water barrier, lay down the sand mixture and the epoxy that actually creates the floor, and then by the end of this week, we'll be sealing that floor up. So we're right on schedule with that. And then next week, the new player lockers will start the lockers. It will take about 2 weeks. The kids at the school built the lockers in the woodshop program, they came out really good, and now they're going to be installed over the next 2 weeks, along with some touch-up painting and whatnot. During these next 2 weeks, the finished electric, the plumbing, the HVA system, the ductwork for it will also be completed, along with a concrete slab that the HVA system is going to sit on the outside of the building, which we're putting up on an 18-inch curb, which will sit up another foot on the curb for the HVA system itself, just to keep it out of the water if we ever get another flood. And so we'll save that unit. The new HVA unit the date for delivery is Thursday, August 18th. There'll be a small overlap. Football starts the 10th. We'll get that on the 18th, and that'll be the last piece of the puzzle of the whole thing, which made Coach Gennaro very happy, even with the 1 week, 2 week overlap. So as of right now, we're on schedule, on budget, and everything's working out.
Great. Does anybody have questions?
Thank you, yeah.
No questions? Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
Great job.
Good, thank you.
Next item, staffing update.
With your approval this evening and the number of appointments that we've had in June and July, we're down to filling just one position left at the high school, which is the physics teacher. I'm finding that position very difficult to fill at the present time, but we're working hard at that. And I just want to thank all the principals and their screening teams for working hard the latter part of May and June to fill many positions that we had to fill. So we're in very good shape at the present time just to fill that one position left at the high school.
Next item would be technology services, combining the town and school department.
Approximately a month ago, the town manager came to me, and his technology director is retiring in mid-August, and he floated the idea to me whether or not we could combine technology services with the town. So we explored that possibility. We did a number of things. We had a couple of meetings. We had Justin talk to all the department heads in the town to see if this was realistic. Justin felt that it was very realistic. I indicated to the town manager that the schematic that you have before you would be the proper protocol in terms of reporting, where the director of technology of schools/town would report to the superintendent of schools, who would ultimately report to the school committee. Currently, the town has 2.5 technology people. They have a director, they have somebody who works on the director, then I believe they have somebody who works part-time at the Jesse Smith Library. That individual is not included in this schematic. What would occur would be that we would pick up 2 additional people to help us in the school department. Obviously, by not filling another director's position, we would just hire another IT person. So there would be 4 people that Justin would have jurisdiction over in terms of identifying the areas that need to be dealt with on the school side and the town side. He has that option. So his department would be the 4 IT people plus the data manager that we currently have. And you can see that the 4 IT people would service both the town and the school, and the data manager currently does a lot of work with RIDE, the school and federal reporting. So I think it's a good idea. I would recommend approval. I think this is the right direction to go in. I think the town would be very pleased with it. Ultimately, you probably would end up saving about $20,000 plus by combining both services. And I think it's a good gesture on the school department to show the collaboration that we're willing to work with the town in any of these areas that work for both sides. And this is certainly one area that works for both sides, both the school and the town. So I would recommend your approval of this. If you approve this evening, this will be sent on to the town manager. He will then forward it to the town council for approval.
Mr. Chair, motion to approve combining town and school department technology services.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion?
Just a quick clarification. Director of Technology would be reporting to Superintendent, and you would then report to the town in terms of the hierarchy of the structure, or would it be?
No, it would just be like any other director's position. We would assume the responsibility for the 2 additional IT people. I would not have to report to the town. The individual that's listed there for the highest salary, as you can see there, that person would be on call 24/7 to directly service the town, particularly the police department, which they had a great concern in the emergency management. That person is currently assigned 24/7 to that department. So no, it would be Director of Technology reports to the superintendent, who would then report to you, as I would report to you for any other director within the school department.
And so the
town would be relieved of that responsibility.
So, but as far as the accountability for the IT people servicing the town,
That's our responsibility.
So we become the responsible.
That would be Justin's responsibility.
So our oversight then becomes the town-wide oversight for
Correct. Yes.
technology.
Mm-hmm.
Question? The salary savings of $20,000, would that be under the school department's budget or under the town budget?
No, that would be in the town budget. What we need to do is work out the logistics. That salary listed there for the Director of Technology is not the current salary. That is an addition that the town was willing to pay our Director of Technology, which is roughly about $13,000 added to Justin's salary because his oversight of the whole town now. And there will also be some additional savings depending upon healthcare provisions.
Mm-hmm.
But just in the salary line alone, the town would save about $20,000. And we will need to work out how that invoice would be dealt with the town. So once you approve this, then we'll work that out with the town manager.
What we're also doing is we're giving the superintendent more responsibility. Is that correct?
Sure. Yes. But I'm not getting any additional money.
I think she's
That's
thinking
gonna be
next year.
That's gonna
next
go to
year. And it happens if there's something major that happens within the town.
Well, I think we would address it. The town would be in touch with us through Justin or myself. I think anything major that goes wrong, the town and myself and Justin will sit down and we'll work that out.
Comment? I think this is a great opportunity for both the town government and the District 42, the Burrillville School Department, to become more knowledgeable about what we do. They will become more involved in knowing all of the things that we really do, and they will be surprised, just as we will be surprised as to what their work encompasses. So I think it's a great learning experience for both sides.
I agree, and I think the town manager has as much confidence in our director of technology as we do, so it's really, Justin's gonna handle most of it. He's only gonna go to the superintendent if it's really an important issue at that point. Superintendent would speak to the town manager, but I think Justin will have it under control.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to echo those sentiments. I agree with the concept. I think it's a good idea. So just, logistically, that was my only concern,
We flushed it out very thoroughly. We had Justin speak to every department head to make sure that he was comfortable in terms of their needs and meeting their needs, and he was very comfortable with that.
Yeah, good.
I'd like to add to both of their comments. I think it also helps the future as far as the town council and the school department working together in a camaraderie sort of thing.
Absolutely. Any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Okay, the next item under the superintendent's report is a policy I'm going to ask you to approve. This has come from the federal government and through the audit report to RIDE to individual school districts. This is a protocol that we need to follow now in terms of Title I reporting. Once you approve this, excuse me, it'll become part of our policy, and Robin will make sure that it's followed and implemented correctly.
Motion to approve policy as presented?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
If I may,
Discussion,
I will vote to approve this as well. I have a general disagreement with the use of Title I money as a, So I agree that we should have a policy in place that we would need to follow, and obviously to fulfill the obligations that come with receiving federal money. But I have an issue with that premise. So just to throw that out there. So.
Well, I'm glad you approve. Thank you.
Ultimately.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We will back up one to the Burrillville Middle School overnight field trip request.
Mr. Chair, make a motion to approve as presented.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yes.
Sylvia.
Hold on, I get my notes here. The paperwork that I've read said it is not a school-sponsored trip. Did you see that?
No, it is a school-sponsored.
I know. It says, since this is not a school-sponsored trip, it will not be attending as representatives or employees of the school. And that is where the heading says 2018 Washington, D.C. trip, where it's the letter to dear parents and students. And it's got World Strides in the top right-hand corner.
Oh, I see that, yeah.
It's the third paragraph down, the last sentence.
Well, Mrs. Robidoux was sick. You respond to that?
I think that might be something World Strides put in, but we can certainly edit that out.
Okay.
Have to take a look at it.
My concern also is, what is the supervision going to be like? I know it says that they have night chaperones. What other kind of supervision do they provide?
They have chaperones.
Their chaperones, or the teachers will be chaperoning?
We have both teachers and parents, both attend.
Okay, and what about this company? Will they be chaperoning too during the day?
No, teachers and parents do chaperoning.
Okay.
You're all
Mr.
Donnison?
Chairman, I'm fairly familiar with the trip, having sent a number of my children along. I think World Strides does provide security on the floors of the hotel at night. So no one's allowed in and out, and so there is supervision, if I'm not mistaken, right?
There's security guards on the floor.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're looking for that type of comfort, that made me comfortable knowing that existed. And I noticed one other thing too. It looks this year they're going to be taking a plane instead of the bus.
We're trying that this year, yes.
Is there a big cost difference, do you know, between what it used to be?
It's not a huge difference,
Yeah.
It is a difference.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
huge.
Well,
We're gonna
that's-
try it this time, because they'll save really 2 days by going by plane.
Yeah, that bus trip is, yeah, leaves a little bit to be desired, I think, so, yes.
One
Thank
more
you.
question?
Yes,
Um,
Sylvia.
Jeez, I just lost my train of thought here, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. How long have you been using World Strides? More than a few years?
10 years.
Oh, good. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Good trip.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Next item, committee on agenda items.
Committee comments, is that what we're doing?
Committee on agenda items.
The only thing I have to say, I guess it could be an agenda item, since we had a moment of silence.
Okay.
I would just like to thank everyone for their kind words of support, either through cards or electronics. It's greatly appreciated. The family really appreciates it. Thank you very much. Okay.
Next item, pending issues. Field house renovation dedication, staff appreciation night, school bus employee appreciation.
I brought up at the last meeting, Mr. Kamajian was absent, that we had a discussion about staff appreciation night and giving a certificate of appreciation to individual teachers who retired, who had 25 years or more. If you recall, I brought that up to the committee. Just want to let you know that I did that, Mike.
Okay, thank you.
And I also have a partial list of the field house renovation dedication information that we're still working on and get prepared for the school committee. So I just want to bring the committee up to date on that.
Great, thank you. Item 15,
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
motion and a second, all in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. You did have a question on that.
No, I wasn't going to